1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hi again, and welcome to Red Rising. Today we are moving on to part 2 of Red Rising, where the world truly begins to expand as Darrow wakes from his death. We dive right in as we're introduced to all colors of the society, including everyone's favorite morally ambiguous, not-too-starving artist, Mickey the Carver. We say hello and almost immediately goodbye to Julian, and also touch on the other players introduced who will go on to shape the saga. Along the way, we unpack the symbolism and deeper meaning found within the distraction of the novel's larger set pieces. Hic sunt Leonis. Pierce Brown, come onto the podcast. The following conversation contains major spoilers for Pierce Brown's Red Rising trilogy. The series also includes depiction of graphic violence, torture, slavery, sexual violence, and genocide. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, me neither.
I picked that up too. I read Severus as well.
Oh, there you go. There's your fact check.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Are you talking about Antonia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
I
like-
just read that this morning.
Same.
Wait, but how is Severus spelled?
Same way.
Severus.
Severus Snape?
Yeah.
Severus?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying
I
to
did
find
not
what
know
page it is.
that.
At some point, we're gonna have to go through also and randomly discuss fan casts if it were live action for this.
Oh, yeah.
Now that you mentioned Severus Snape, I'm thinking of Alan Rickman, R.I.P.
Definitely fan casts, and I was thinking fan art. I would love for us to
Oh God.
pick our favorite fan art and bring it and see who's finds the
Show
better
and
one.
tell.
I think that's what confuses me with their skin color, because the fan art has them as their colors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
I just forgot I have the board game, which is
Oh.
officially licensed, and that has actual.
All the
I'll have to
characters.
I'll have to dig that out because it is officially licensed, so that should be how they should look.
Aren't you
Mhm.
worried about that ruining your internal vision of how the characters look?
I mean, no more than listening to the audiobook and having that
Mm.
ruin how they sound,
Mm.
which
Mm.
is going to be fun talking about this part because listening to Tim Gerard Reynolds narrate Mickey was fun.
I was gonna say that was one of my topics for today. Is Mickey's the voice for Mickey is
Perfect.
couldn't have been
Ooh.
better.
Yeah.
Did I hear it?
My darling boy.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
he's Irish.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
sorta, yeah.
okay,
But
so we're-
whiny.
Whiny
We're covering
Irish.
Anyway.
part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Red Rising podcast with Sam, Liz, Nick, and Greg.
I thought you were doing that in post.
I am going to do it in post.
Okay, great.
I feel like you also need to mention it's red spelled R-E-A-D.
Yeah, homonym.
Which is
Yeah.
a homophone.
Please don't sue us.
I said the wrong word. It's
Oh, no,
not a
I've been-
homonym. It's a
I've been-
homophone.
Homophone.
Yeah. No, I had to Google it. I'm not better than you guys, okay? I put my pants on one leg at a time like
Stand in
everybody
your
else.
betterness, Sam.
Changing your name because you have everyone in my family
Craig? What are you
Wait, should
doing?
we?
knows that you're doing this podcast.
Wait, so should we be calling him
Is
Norman?
that a problem?
Huh?
Muted. It's a
Oh.
domestic.
Yeah, I think it's
For those who are listening, Craig's wife just what
Should we
happened,
be-
Craig? Why don't you fill us
Should
Yeah,
we
in?
be calling you
Oh,
Norman?
God.
Sounds like
Laura
you're-
was giving me a hard time about changing my name, which I don't understand because I didn't. Did I say Norman?
No,
No, you said Craig.
I said Craig.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Sam calls you Norman.
Should you be Norman
Shoot,
on
maybe
this?
I said it.
What should we be calling you?
I
It's
think
Craig.
we
We
went and decided
decided.
we're Craig.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Sam changed your name to match what you would.
Yeah.
The right thing.
You're gonna. Well,
Oh,
you can always
in
confuse
the
everyone.
corner?
And 1 week you're Craig, 1 week you're Norman, and see
Yeah.
how it goes.
I met
All right.
Craig under different professional circumstances.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so
Which again goes to show, I'm pretty sure you were known as Craig by everyone at St. Mary's,
Craig at college too. Yeah.
just a blip. where
It's
I knew you.
really,
except Sam.
really
Except
confusing.
me. So we did go to college together.
All right. Sam, you want to do the intro?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to share where we are in space and time. This
Yeah.
is part 2. It starts when he wakes up thinking that he's been buried alive, and then it ends where he's going through the passage to the Institute and has just I'm gonna spoil it because this is what this podcast does. It's this part. Murders Julian. That's where we are. A lot plot. This part
Yeah.
cooks. I'm actually
It's
wondering,
very
you
thick.
guys have reread, I haven't. I'm feeling like in this 80 pages, there's got to be more plot movement than in part 3. I feel like part 3 is stuff happening, but this is all so foundational to like the entire trilogy that there's
Yeah.
so many nuggets here
Yeah.
that need to be
I-
dissected.
I feel like this is kind of the foundation for the world building. You know, it's actually not a whole lot of plot, but it's a lot of learning
Thank you,
about the
yes.
world. Yeah. I was also of the opinion at first, it was like, there's a lot here. And it's like, well, not a lot actually happens, but you learn so much.
Mhm.
Well, do we want to do I feel like it was useful the last time when we did a sort of generic what happens from the beginning to the end, you know? And then we can dive into topics.
Yeah, do you
Oh,
want to?
yeah.
I was going to ask if we wanted to go like blow by blow or if we want to do the arc first.
I
Does
think
arc first make
generally-
sense? Okay.
I think the
Well,
arc.
I mean,
Yeah.
TLDR, he wakes up,
Yeah, we'll
he
see
gets
how it
carved,
happens.
he goes to, he goes and kills Julian. There you go.
Yeah, and I also feel self-conscious about my audio because I couldn't get my microphone to work. So I'm wearing my headphones. I just want to apologize to everyone in the audience at home if it's
I mean,
gross.
you and
We're
I
going
are
to
in the
edit
same
it in
boat.
post.
There's only so much editing you can do, but he wakes up. He finds out he's with
Well,
this,
he's
like-
buried underground. So we have a literal rebirth, right?
Yeah.
And he claws his way back up. There's dirt in his mouth. He's not sure why he's alive. And then he gets picked up by Harmony.
Yeah,
Harmony.
Harmony. And then finds a bunch of other cool characters like Dancer, who's really
Dancer,
important.
who is a-
Dancer gets introduced.
Incredibly important.
Yeah.
And they spend a little time just chatting because they have to tell him, like, hey,
Yeah.
the world you know is a complete lie. This is the real world. I definitely want to
Mhm.
dive into that. I actually marked it with a sticky. That's a very important part.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then he kind of gets on board to say it in like a few words instead of the few pages that it was. And they put him under the knife. They share that this plan kind of
Well-
unfolds. He doesn't know, but they're like, we're gonna turn you into a gold, basically, is the plan. What did I miss, Craig?
Oh, no, we can go back and dive
You
into
told me to do it at a high
You're right.
level.
Keep going. Keep going.
So they do that. They meet this carver that's like a plastic surgeon, I suppose,
Yeah.
named
The
Mickey.
violet. That's a new color we didn't know.
Thank you. They do introduce new colors, and one is a violet. Mickey is a stone cold creep, and he recreates him into a gold over a very excruciating and time consuming process where he also has to like hone his mind and his new body and learn about gold culture from everyone's favorite character, Mateo.
Mm.
And then, oh my gosh, I'm blowing through stuff. Then he has to qualify to get into the institute. So he takes
Mhm.
tests. He
Mhm.
meets other kids, technically his biological age, not his maturity level. And then he qualifies. He actually blows him out of the water. And he joins the institute, like goes in, has this really great dinner, goes to bed thinking he's like in the plushest place ever, wakes up to a beating, gets thrown into a dungeon. Oh, we meet Finchner, which is huge. That we'll
We
definitely talk
really-
about in depth.
Yeah. Because
Wow.
he has that
Briefly.
chat with him, and Fitchner punches him in the face. and it's
Punches
like,
him in the face.
If you punch
Oh,
me
that's right,
back,
because
you're
they
gonna-
do the interviews. I forgot they did the interviews
Yes.
before the passage. Yeah.
And
Yep.
the
So
race
yes,
you-
thank you.
We meet Lauren there, sort of
I
identify.
wrote that down so I wouldn't forget to say it, and I did. Yeah. So we meet the Rage Knight. Very important characters. Craig, something to add here?
No, but it's really like that part of the book.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's like one thing
It's
after
the
another.
It's the montage.
Yeah. So
I
in the
think it's a-
dungeon, and this is like 2 pages. I hate this part
Yeah.
of the book, so I was dreading it. Didn't realize it was so short. In the dungeon, he's in there with Julian, who we meet Cassius. It's Julian. It's Cassius'
Mhm.
brother.
Sweetest boy.
Yep.
I know.
Such
Just
a
a kind-hearted-
sweetie, not too bright. Finchner pops in, says, I'm just going to make this easy. One person leaves here alive. And
Ugh.
Darrow kills Julian in a devastating 2-paragraph.
My goal is to make
orchestration.
you. My goal today is to make you not hate this part because it is incredible.
Yeah.
I
Gives
don't
him
think I
no
would hate it so
weapon
much
though,
if it
so
wasn't.
it's like you have to kill each other with no weapon. Just figure it out.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah.
It's
How
so
many
hard.
parts is the first book divided into? It's 4 parts.
4.
Or yeah.
We're gonna have to come back to this. I'm gonna have to be fact checked on it, but I'm pretty sure each of the four parts basically shows a different form of brutality.
Hmm.
And
Oh.
that's I think kind of the underlying theme of how I think this scene is so incredible. So we'll come back to that. I might be completely wrong.
I feel like you got to start it off with that.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you mean, Nick?
What? Yeah.
so
What's your working theory?
Yeah.
in the first part, the brutality is slavery, right? There is the subjugation of the Reds. There is what they have to go through. That is the brutality. Maybe brutality is not the right word. Maybe it's something else. But cruelty, brutality, one of those bad words. In the
The
second part,
hanging.
it is the raw. I mean, I guess it's not. I guess it's a different. This doesn't fit through the whole second part because there's a weird, different type of brutality with the carving, right? But then you get into this like completely raw brutality of the passage with Julian, right? I think that is its own form. It's we see it. It's right in our face. And then the third part is the majority of the Institute. That is, I mean, we see it play out between the different factions. Within the factions, we see the brutality of Titus, of the people, of the wars that they have. And then finally, in the fourth part, you have the storming of Olympus, which is like the brutality of the rising up. So you have four different like waves here in a way.
Mhm. Hmm.
But
I don't know if I would ever think about it like that.
I might be talking out of my ass completely too.
Well, I think so. If we pick on Darrow,
Mhm.
our protagonist, this is just like a long con game that he has signed up for because he has nothing else to
Yeah.
lose, right? And so we have this incredible character of Mickey the Carver, who is like oddly sexual, like he's a creep. Who said that
Creep.
best? He's a creep.
Yeah.
And so he makes like creatures in his den and, sells them. And so then he creates Darrow into like this god and his bone density is better than regular golds, right? There's a lot of detail about like how Mickey put in effort into Darrow. And so when we finally get to the part where he's beating Harmony in their practice sessions, and then he takes a test and aces it, he gets one wrong. And then he finally gets to Julian. The person that we see enter the room with Julian is not the same Darrow that we saw at the beginning of part 2. And so it feels like, we have already passed the point of no return. And so Julian dying is just like us, the reader, getting a sense of how bad is gold. Gold is terrible to Reds. Like gold is terrible to itself.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on, I don't know.
Well,
how to
I
put
like
that.
Nick's theory. I think it's interesting.
I think
Yeah,
it
I'm
also. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I'm trying to because I've never thought of it in that way, but in a way I can see it, right? Because first we're focusing on the Reds and their deaths and the hanging, right, is a big part of like part 1. It's a lot of what we see. Part 2 is Darrow having this like transformative like change in himself and then like ending with the killing of Julian, but to get into this institute, which is sort of part of the bigger scheme for how he's going to demolish everything, right? That gold is. And I guess I can't remember. Yeah, the institute is just rough, and it's just a rough place for anybody. And it is like gold against gold. So even amongst themselves, they only value like the best of the best in everything. And so, yeah, I've lost my train of thought now.
I think there's
I
also.
had a point, and
No,
I like,
you're good. I think there's also like to go with these four different parts. It's look at like the four different people that are dead at the hands of Darrow. In the first part, himself. He kills himself, right? In the second, he kills Julian. In the third part, Titus dies because of him. I think it's ultimately Cassius that does it, right? But Titus dies because of him. And then in the fourth part, it's Jupiter, right? That he spoilers. It's Jupiter that he like stabs in the sky,
oh
right? That's
yeah,
the proctor. So it's
yeah.
like four
I
different
don't think it's
deaths.
Jupiter, but yeah,
It's one of the proctors that
It
he's
was
like,
yeah,
I'm
it
gonna,
was
Apollo?
one of
yeah.
them.
Apollo.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's right. And he's like, I'm gonna carve
because he
out your
was
bloody damn heart.
helping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean, this is one I think we're gonna have to ask Pierce. So
that's a good point.
Craig, you're plugging.
Yeah. Pierce, come on the podcast.
There it is.
Craig, you're starting to sound like Carl with "God damn it, donut."
God damn it, Donut.
Maybe we rewind to
Yeah,
kind of
let's
get to the
rewind.
beginning.
Yeah.
So he gets found. We meet Harmony. We meet Dancer. There is a specific. Oh wait, that's later. Never mind. I'll hold on to that. We see different things afforded to different classes. Lots of class world building.
It was
Um,
Oh, I was just gonna say it was wild to me. I guess I like forgot that like each color had their own like walking paths, and only like higher colors could go into lower colors' walking path, but it couldn't be the other way. And I'm like, that's just so restrictive. It's insane. Like it's like we've kind of carved this world out for you, and you must follow it, even to the point of like where you walk. It's like there's
and
truly no freedom.
Darrow sees that I think it's a green is walking the streets or a blue, and they were watching the HC. But whenever they pass a gold, the HC turns
Stop.
off automatically for
Yeah,
everyone. Like it's just like the
yeah.
whole system colludes
It's
in
really
this
for
weird.
gold.
Yeah. There's also a Lord of the Rings reference in chapter 10.
Ooh.
He's looking around. He's like they're walking the streets and he's like totally inundated with stuff and he sees um I think it's like I hope I don't butcher this, but I think it's supposed to be like a travel agency advertising a trip to Osgiliath.
Oh, and Osgiliath is
Yeah.
help me.
Osgiliath is a part of Gondor.
Uh,
It's like the seaside town that they sort of cede. They have to like let it go to the bad guys.
oh yeah.
It's part of Gondor. So just throwing that out there.
Nerd. Just
No,
kidding. I
reference.
would not have remembered that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Let
Darrow doesn't even understand how money works.
Right.
Like
Right.
Dancer has to
Did he
teach him what
taught
money
her?
is. Yeah.
I think so. I was struck by part one, which we were leaving, is, as Nick said, totally different in terms of writing style, right? In terms of pace, too. Part two, from the moment that Darrow goes up in the elevator with Dancer, and Darrow's like, I'm going to blow your mind, kid.
Yeah, Dancer is.
And seeing outside and seeing like what Liz just mentioned, right? There are people walking the streets assigned to their color, but there's a gold who's flying and being chased by other beautiful golds, you know, and they're just like, it's the dichotomy is crazy. And the fact that there are high reds and low reds.
Right.
I don't know. It feels to me, we've talked in our voice memos before about there are books that you have to like pay attention to, you know, otherwise you can't just like have
Sam
it on in
misses
the background. Oh yeah, or Craig. And this part feels like that. They shove a lot in here. But how did people feel about Mickey is one of my favorite characters. How did everybody
Let's
feel
talk
about
about
the
Mickey.
Mickey moments?
I don't
Mickey
know.
is actually the page that I marked with a
Oh.
sticky. Mickey with a
Really?
sticky.
Mickey with a
Yeah.
sticky.
Mickey's an
So
artist, you know, he's a tortured artist, I feel.
emphasis on tortured.
Yeah. Ugh. So he, you know, when we meet Mickey, Darrow is taken in. Harmony is wearing a bomb, right, to get them into this club. Mickey is sitting with all of his like winged creatures that he has created, and he has no faith at all that like it's impossible to make a red into a gold. And then Darrow does the weird cube, Rubik's cube thing, you know. And we
His
see Mickey start to
dexterous
lean
hands.
in. Yeah. And I don't know. There's something. Tim Gerard Reynolds come on the podcast because,
You just thought the voice was perfect.
and the pacing and like his weird little pauses, his crooning over Darrow. It's so odd and weird and like perfect.
Can we talk about a passage that I feel like is thesis statement style?
Yes.
So this is from Mickey sitting next to Darrow's bedside. Darrow immediately doesn't like Mickey because he's a creep, but then like he grows on him, and then there's like this weird father-son dynamic a little bit. So Mickey sits next to Darrow while he's recovering, and they talk a little bit. And Mickey says, "Mankind was always enslaved. They'll say, freedom enslaves us to lust, to greed. Take freedom away, and they give me a life of dreaming. They give you a life of sacrifice, family, community, and society is stable. There's no famine, no genocide, no great wars. And when the golds fight, they obey rules. They are noble about it. When the great houses bicker." And then he says, "Noble, they lied to me, said I was a pioneer." And he's like, "And would you have been happier if you knew you were a slave?" Mickey asks, "No, none of the billion low reds beneath Mars would be happy if they knew what the high reds knew, that they are slaves. So is it not better to lie?" And I feel like we talk about this all the time.
Yeah. That came up in our episode about Lysander.
This was spoiler territory, so
Yeah, be
we don't want to
careful.
move into the second trilogy.
Trilogy.
Right.
But it always is like, I think third trilogy that's safe is like Roke. This is like Roke's dream of the society, and
And Nero's dream, or like understanding.
mhm,
Nero Augustus is sort of, again, we're not going to get too far ahead. But it's the idea that if there is going to be a shepherd of society, is it not, in order to have peace, is it not better to subjugate people and not have them know about it so that they don't suffer not only the actions but the knowledge, right? That's what Mickey is saying.
mhm.
Um,
But I just wonder what you guys think about that, because is Mickey's not really part of the. I guess he's part of the resistance in the sense that he's helping them, but to me, he seems a bit more like a free agent.
yeah, he's a
Yeah, I
mercenary.
think
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mickey is more of like, because even there's a part later where Darrow makes that comment of like, you're just like, he's just kind of existing in it. He's aware of his situation and he doesn't really care to change it either way. And I think that's sort of why they even had to kind of bulldoze their way to get in there and like talk him into doing the procedure because he's not gung ho resistance. We should change things, even though his own childhood or upbringing was really messed up. He's not like, I need to change it. It's just the way the world is, and he's accepted it sort of in that way. Yeah, it's I don't know, because part of me was also thinking like, to what end are they doing this? Like, is it that the Reds are going to be miners for life? Like, are they constantly needing terraforming? Are they like, do they just want it to? I know they don't have the big gas like planets yet, but is that like was that their goal to just keep creating more and more worlds and other planets and endlessly? Or I just did not. I'm like, what was the ultimate goal?
I think they talk in book 3, because in book 3 they're on Phobos. I think they talk in book 3 about the other uses they have for helium-3 and why it's so important. So why they're mining. And I think it's more than just terraforming. If I'm
It's just
remembering
like a
right.
precious natural resource, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. And like they use it for fuel and like a bunch of other stuff too. And that's why one of the key points in book 3, to jump ahead, is that they're talking about shutting down all of the like processing it on Phobos for that. So,
Well,
but to go back, yeah.
I was actually gonna send it to you, Nick. I had a question for you, but maybe you'll answer it. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know if it's about Mickey. I was just gonna say I want to point out, again, jumping around a bit, but I want to point out how much of a parallel there is between Darrow meeting Mickey for the first time and in the second book when Darrow is like thinking he's about to be killed by Augustus because he's failed, and he goes down in like to the depths of Luna to meet Adrius in that like seedy bar. And I just love the parallel there between the two of them. And I think it's really interesting how when we first meet Mickey, he is kind of this. The power dynamic is like, you kind of look at him and you say, "Oh, this is a guy Darrow should kind of be afraid of, maybe. I don't know." And then we slowly see that, like, no, never really. He's not this. He's just like you guys said, another like another player in the game, doing his own thing, kind of forcefully a part of the resistance, not really by his own choice. But
Here's a hot take.
yeah,
We talk about Julian, feeling sorry for Julian. I think we should all be sorry for Mickey.
Yeah.
From the moment we meet Mickey, he
Mhm.
is bullied and mistreated.
well,
From the
don't forget
start.
he's also a pimp. Like that's a
Yeah, he's
Sure.
a bad dude.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
like
he's a bad dude.
Like
But it is just
I
very sad. He's
That's
just
true.
But
yeah.
it's all around sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
just everybody's getting subjugated, right? So like
Mhm.
Mickey doesn't have a choice. Harmony walks in with a bomb on her chest, and Dancer effectively bullies him into doing this thing. Everyone knowing that if they get caught, everyone's being tortured and destroyed by the Board of Quality Control. So I don't know. I love Mickey.
We end it in this part with Mickey, with Darrow threatening him and trying to get a better life for Evie.
Yeah, which
that's
is
her
very
name. I
sweet.
was gonna ask her name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
Evie.
also think
Yeah.
it's very right. Like Harmony and Darrow are so alike, and then we just kind of over time see how they start different in their views. But right now, because he's like, oh, I don't like all these people. Like I'm just annoyed at Dancer. I'm annoyed at Mickey, but Harmony and I are like, we kind of think the same. We have the same like rage within us. And then he sort of evolves in it. They just evolve so differently in their rage. And I think
Mhm.
it's interesting to see all of that.
Well, we were talking last episode about where does Darrow show that he's a leader?
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
think it's, when we see Harmony has the same rage that Darrow has, that Titus has,
Mhm.
this desire for revenge. Where does it happen in this part where Darrow starts to take a turn towards not just revenge?
I think so.
Yeah, at a
I
certain point, he says he's Eo's dream. He's not a weapon. He's like, "I'm not a weapon. I'm Eo's dream," and he's trying to like center himself there because he's
Is
trying
it
not to
when
like.
he's playing that game for the last part before they like put him in a house for Mars, where he's like, "Oh, I could kill all these things, but I'm just controlling my rage."
I think it was when Nero was giving his speech and everybody was in the same room. He's like,
Yes.
"With one good bomb, I could just wipe all these people out." But it's not about that. It's about the long game.
And see, I think he's all talk right now, at least at this part in the book. I think he says he's Eo's dream, but like it's very much he's on that needle point where he
Mhm.
could tip either way. I don't think it's until later when he handles Titus and that whole thing that he starts to actually live it out.
To
I mean, I
Liz's
guess
point,
the
that's why I
steps are
love
there,
those.
you know.
I love the foils, like
Yeah.
Harmony, Titus. I love to see how like their paths are so similar, and then just as the books continue, they spiral off, and he stays on that leadership path.
Yeah. But was it a mistake that he didn't kill Titus himself? I don't know.
Question for another part.
All right.
Another
Stay
part.
on.
That's next
Let's
part.
stay on.
Next
I
part.
do want to call out Nick. Ding ding ding. 1984 reference.
Oh,
Did you
which one
guys
is
pick
this?
up on that when
It's
he's
been a bit.
studying?
Oh, I
he's,
saw.
he's
Yeah.
culturing himself.
With the books that he has to read.
Mhm.
Then we talked about
Yeah.
part one. Nick referenced 1984 in one of the scenes, and that was one of the books that he read.
That must be nice though, to be able to take something, sleep, and like absorb all of the all of the information that you need. I'm like, I could do with that.
I would love to just read for a little while. What's he complaining about?
Yeah.
Can I, so I don't forget, I just want Uncle Neril check in. I know that
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't not featured prominently here, but I have vowed to follow his character. And it's noted that Darrow survived a pit viper attack when he was young, and that's why his like blood is extra strong. And Uncle Neril like sucked the poison out, but then is it Mickey who tells him like that's not
Mickey's
actually
like, that's
true?
impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still in your blood,
But
and that's why your heart is so good.
It's like
yeah,
peeing
good
on a
for Neril.
jellyfish.
And at a certain point, we learn that Neril's like daughter has died. We learn this like very tragic backstory about Neril.
Yeah.
And
Which
then
is really important and is like 3 sentences.
yeah, just like dropped in there with nothing. And then he talks about how Uncle Neril shaped him the most, taught him to dance, and like set him up for a lot of this. I just want to rebrand Uncle Neril as a hottie going through a hard time.
Ooh.
I just really want to like. I hate that he's this like elderly, decrepit drunk. Uncle Neril is a hero, and he's just a hottie going through a hard time.
Also, I feel like this is so important, Sam, that you bring this up, that he basically says he was raised by Uncle Neril. That's who taught him how to dance. And what does Darrow say at the beginning?
Because
Well, at the beginning, Darrow is like, I am my father's son. Well,
exactly.
who was your father effectively through all this time?
Exactly.
It was Darryl. So,
Pierce Brown, come on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's all. I wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, that's
I
really
will
interesting.
continue to track. What I can promise you is I will continue to track Uncle Neril references as we move forward.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
and we're first
Mateo.
introduced to Severo in this.
Severo.
Or in this.
He's a goblin.
He's a goblin. I didn't realize he was a what is it called? A bronze?
A bronzy.
Yeah, a bronzy. I knew he was smaller than all of them, but yeah. And Darrow like took a liking to him almost immediately. So that was nice. Yeah, it was nice to see that their bond started. I will say though, as a first-time reader going through this, it's a lot of information that you don't realize how important it is. Like, all these people that you meet hold such a big, impact as you go through the books. But you're just like taking it all in.
But I feel like Pierce Brown also does a really good job of making it so you don't have to care,
That's
right?
true.
Like you can still get the story if you don't want to be as big of fanboys as we are. You don't have to go that deep and see all those references. But it's like it's almost fan service for the rereads, right? But I do feel like we should take one moment and pause and go back to Mateo real quick because I do think that's a really important part about him learning. And my question that I actually have is we are told Darrow is really smart. He only gets one question wrong. Was that because of Darrow or because of kind of like his work with Mateo and his work of learning? Does he like augment his brain in a way similar to how Mickey like makes his bone density stronger? Is that explicitly stated in the book, or like is Darrow actually smart, or do they just make him smart?
I think I understood it that he was smart, or he was already smart, and then like they put what was it? They had that frontal lobe like stuff, like they had enhancement, but I understood that like he was already smart to begin with. Yeah,
I think they made him smarter.
probably. Yeah,
I think it is both. I think he had the aptitude. Like he had to
yeah.
prove through that. They call it something like extrapolatory thinking. They like made
Mhm.
up something like that, or maybe that's real and I just don't have it.
That's true. I don't
But
actually know. Yeah,
yeah, Dancer made him pass that little test, like
test.
to eat the
Yeah, the
cards.
card. Yeah, and then also like the cube game with
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, he was very
But I
surprised.
think they had to augment.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I think I also just wanted to shout out Mateo too because I think he's one of my favorite characters as well. Just
What
he's
a
so
gem.
great. Yeah.
yeah. I feel
So
like
there's
this
this.
episode should be called. What did Sam? All those. What is it called? Where the the pageant thing where they transform her, the youth sent as a
Oh,
gift.
Miss Congeniality.
Yes, there should be Dara that can Miss
I was sending
Congeniality because
some
that's a
memes
lot of what this part
yesterday.
is.
The like when the whole sequence of him like I mean he doesn't do this literally, but like walking around with books on his head with Mateo
Right.
is so Miss Congeniality, Michael Caine, like whipping her into shape. So yeah. We'll think of a
For
clever name.
for no reason whatsoever, the picture I have in my head is Legally Blonde.
Weren't you on that text chain or no?
Was I?
No,
I
because
might
there
No,
was
have
you
been.
left him
spoilers in
off.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, Nick. I'll send them
well,
to you later. I left you off because I wasn't sure if we were in spoiler territory.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the picture I've got in my head is Legally Blonde, but Miss Congeniality is definitely
Yeah, you'll see them later. They are very apt. But I had forgotten about the scene where Darrow dances. I loved that
Me
scene. I was
too.
like, "Oh my gosh." And he knocks it out of the water because he's an excellent dancer, which by the way is so hot. That's such a hot thing for dudes to be able to do, is be good at dancing and to love it. Liz is nodding her head.
once
It is
again,
very
So
hot.
is
once
Chris and
again,
Nick. We all agree here.
Yeah.
once
Very
again,
hot.
Pierce Brown dances around the sex scenes.
Uh,
It's hard,
Oh.
just around the edges. So
mm,
Oh, that's good. But it's he kills it, and then Mateo confronts him and is like,
Yeah.
Tell me you are who you say you are because you're too good at this to be a red that they turned into a gold." That was just fascinating.
Like, you can't tie two ships together because, you don't
that's a
want
spoiler.
it's
We
a
gotta
no,
mark that.
it's a first trilogy spoiler. We're good.
Okay.
Okay.
It's first
Yeah.
trilogy.
I've marked it.
A mark, by the way, in the technology we're using, you can mark if you're going to edit this later, so you can take it out. The mark is only as good as the editor, Craig. If you don't
Oh.
plan to edit it, there's no point in marking it.
Yeah, but I guess
Maybe
like
It was
I was
both.
gonna
It
say,
was
not to
both. They
cut you
both said
off,
it.
Liz,
mhm.
maybe if we have Nick explain the connection,
Yeah.
then a spoiler won't come out accidentally.
I don't exactly know where you're going with this, Liz. So I'll
Okay.
pass the
Oh,
ball
I
back
was
to
just
you
saying that
after
like
this.
I think it's part of like Sons of Ares, like part of their strategies to like kind of keep certain people in the dark in certain parts,
Yeah.
so that not everybody's aware of everything at all times. So if you get like kidnapped or taken or whatever, you don't accidentally spill all their secrets because no one person knows all of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so you're right. And it's the first time we hear that phrase is Fitchner in the first book. He talks about Darrow and Titus, and Darrow asks him why he didn't
Oh,
tell. Is
yeah.
it the first book? Whatever Darrow is like talking to Fitchner about Titus after he
Mhm.
finds out he's a red. He asks Fitchner, "Why didn't you tell me?" And Fitchner's like, he says that you don't tie
Right.
two boats together in a storm. And then it comes up later in the third book. Again, Darrow's like, if you're either Darrow or Severo, one of them's like, if you're a son of Ares, why don't we know about any of this? And he repeats that quote again, so for sure. But I think it's also kind of like how those two are like kind of two founding members of the Sons of Ares.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's true.
And he's just a sweet guy, Mateo.
Yeah. Oh,
But
So
like also smart
ever.
and strong.
We get the mention of when he's training. So he goes from the transition with Mickey the Carver to Mateo, and he gets a whole. Is it a whole chapter on Mateo?
I think so.
And he, my Goodman is introduced. The high lingo versus low lingo.
Gory damn.
Yeah, gory damn.
Yeah.
Razors are kind of still introduced.
He watches Gold's fight for the first time and he's scared shitless, which
Right,
I'm like, I
rightfully
see that.
so.
Yeah. That would be
Yeah,
scary.
there is a. When is this said? It's said later in the series. I can't say it. Never mind. I'm gonna mark that.
Why don't you mark it?
Mark it.
Well, because wait, doesn't Mateo have a razor that Darrow's like, that's a bottle, and he's like, boom, he like jibs it at him, and it's like, oh no, that's.
I thought it was literally a bottle.
Yeah, it is a bottle.
Oh, it is a bottle.
And he's just,
Yeah,
but
I
he's just
didn't
pretending.
by that.
And he's like, "This is a razor, my Goodman."
Okay, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Are we
And then
introduced?
picking a name.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mateo
gonna
tries
try
to
to
give him a
rename
different
it.
name.
Mm.
What? Caius Au Andromedus is what they suggest. And he's like,
Darrow's like,
"You've taken everything from me. You won't be taking my name."
Yeah.
And
Actually, it's a
Jonathan is
great
like,
quote.
I miss when you weren't quite a gold yet. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
What was the quote? You've made me give up the hair father gave me, the eyes mother left me, the color I was born to. So I will keep the name they granted me, and you can make it work.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
You make it.
So
You sound like
awesome.
really well. Like the what's his name? The
Tim Gerard Reynolds, come on the podcast. I love
But-
Tim.
Oh, Sam, to your
get,
question about their skin color, they do clarify that Darrow is like very pale in this. Yeah,
They call out his hands for being tan at one point.
they do. But like before the transition, he's like, I'm just like a scrawny, pale
Yes.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think he's just pale.
Yeah, I think like you, fan art.
Yeah,
Was
throw
like-
me off.
Because, yeah. Nick,
What?
did you? Oh, I thought you were raising your hand.
Oh no, I was agreeing with my.
Which would
with
be
my
weird
finger.
in a podcast setting. So.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's fair.
My bad. That's on me.
Mark
Well,
that
no,
part.
no. I mean,
Mark that part.
but one thing I did want to the question I had earlier is this where we're introduced to Cravat, or is that later? Is that
Later.
Cassius?
No, later.
Okay. But the other thing I wanted to say is while this is all going on with Mateo, he's also doing the trading with Harmony, right? And I hate Harmony so much. Through
love
all of
Harmony.
this, the two characters,
Yeah.
I think I hate the most in the well, there are a lot, but I hate Harmony and I hate Roke. Fuck Roke.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I love Roke. That's a
I
hot
hate
take.
Harmony.
That's a
I
hot
love Roke.
Loving Roke is definitely a hot take.
I think it's Adrius and Harmony.
I love Cassius.
Oh, I
That's
love
fine.
Cassius.
Oh, yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
everybody does. Yeah.
That's not a hot take. I
Nick,
love
I don't want to tell you
Cassius.
how to feel, but I feel
Okay.
like you hate Roke for the same reasons I hate the end of this part, because it's good and it hurts, and you don't want to feel the pain.
So I can respect Roke. I can like Roke as a plot tool and as a character and as a symbol, but as a person, fuck Roke.
But Nick, you're coming at it from
Yeah.
the realization of book 2.
Yes, so
Yeah,
I
he's-
guess the
he's
end
read
of book
book
2, right?
three.
Yeah,
Book 2 and 3. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fine. But like book 1 Roke is awesome.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Right?
But I mean, that's part of the reason why he sucks, is because
well.
he was so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to thine own self be true. And he is.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta
true.
talk
about that later. I was
so
gonna say
much.
you can't have two Cassiuses, I guess, because if Roke was in
Yeah.
Roke, he would be a Cassius, sort of. Yeah.
That's a good topic for
Yeah.
Yeah,
episode.
that could be its own
23.
episode when we're
Yeah.
done.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah.
We get a Mustang sighting, 2 actually,
True, yeah.
and in the second one, she's singing EO's song. I wanted to talk about the significance of that.
Is that the
If
one where
there
they're
is
in
any.
they're in
I
like
don't
the
remember
changing
that.
room together?
Yeah, she's
Yeah, so the
humming it
first
as
one-
she's changing.
And they both blush.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce, you could have
Good.
done more with that.
Dancing around the sex scenes.
Yeah.
There no sex happened.
No, none.
Just saw her in the locker room, and she was humming EO's song, which seems tacky to me.
No, it's like an earworm song.
You think it's an earworm?
Right?
I think that's sort of. I think
Sorry,
that
I'm
is
just
what it is in
picturing,
Mrs.
oh.
Lady.
This song that this woman sang to actually die. Oh, that's our earworm right now.
Well, it's
Friday,
probably
Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Like, I'm thinking of other earworms.
how long has it been since EO has died? A month or two, right?
I think a
Oh,
year.
I
Is
think
it
the
longer
carving
than that?
takes a while. Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
Oh,
carving
then
takes a
maybe it
while.
is odd that
A few
she's
months.
humming.
Well, I think
I
because
mean,
his training takes like damn near months, right? Like almost.
Mhm.
and the
Yeah. So
carving
I,
itself takes weeks too.
yeah. So I want to say it's been maybe 6 months since EO's death.
Okay, so that does seem odd that she'd be humming that naked in the shower.
But I
But
do
I
think
think
it
she
is like
also
an.
go ahead.
No, yes, no, you go, Nick.
I mean, I think like either in right here, Darrow asks, or later, he's like, it might be later, where he's like, "Why do you know that song? Why do you keep singing that song?" And he brings it up with her, and she has a reason for it. It's still a little weird though.
I actually didn't even think it was weird because I was like, well, because I thought of it in the sense of that, like, well, they're probably playing it a lot, right? And she's such a against her father that like she's probably just like used to like humming it just because they played it on the HC and she knows that her father hates that song. So it's like,
HC.
yeah. Interesting. So
So
I truly didn't even think it was weird.
Okay.
so it's like the
We
difference between like people on the streets singing "Do you hear the people sing?" and Donald Trump saying that's his favorite song.
did Donald Trump say that?
They
I mean,
mentioned
he
the
loves that
United
play, right?
States. Nara
Yeah.
does, Augustus.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
Yeah, there is a lot of US talk in
yeah.
the in Nero's address.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about when he first meets Cassius?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we're gonna have to move pretty quickly on to the
Oh.
introduction to the institute here, guys.
Wait, aren't we just ending with Julian?
Yeah, but I feel like there's
Yeah.
again,
There's
like
a lot to
every bit of
cover.
this.
Oh,
It's
okay. Never mind about Cassius. He looks good. He's a handsome fellow.
Well,
They
no,
Those
will get
golden
into
coils.
Cassius a
He
lot.
comes from money.
I feel like we should kind of talk about this because it's on the bus, right? Doesn't he meet Cassius for the first time on the bus,
He meets
or is it only
Cassius
Julian?
at the test.
Yeah, at the
test.
At the
test,
test,
it's
and
Julian
Cassius
on the
Okay.
Darrow
bus.
steals the pencil from that girl who's being annoying, and she fails the test, and he's like, "Gory dab, well done."
Yeah, but we do know like Cassius is handsome, hot, and kind because he's like, "Oh, I'll pay for you to go to Aegea if you can't go." And so like that's our impression of Cassius so far. And then Julian is also like kind-hearted and just softer than Cassius, always looking at Cassius for approval. Um, yeah, so interesting. It's
Say
the
one thing about Cassius Apollonia. Say he's an honorable man.
he's a what?
Say he's an honorable man.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't think you guys haven't read First Law, have you? Okay. Then sorry, I was quoting a different series there too.
Oh,
There's a deep cut or I
that
don't
is
know.
a
do that
deep.
a
I was
lot
just
here.
gonna say
It's
that's a deep cut.
a nugget for anyone there that's a Joe Abercrombie fan of our one. Pierce, if you read Joe Abercrombie, that's for you.
Yeah, I have notes about Nero's monologue. I feel like we do probably have to move forward, but he mentions EO. It's just like rage bait.
Yeah.
It's rage bait for Darrow.
I find it
But I want to talk
interesting
about Fitchner. Oh, go ahead.
I find it interesting that he mentions EO in his monologue to a bunch of kids going off to school.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it makes sense because this is the first class since that happened, and it seemed like, but at the same time, I feel like doing something like that legitimizes this moment, and I feel like wouldn't you just want to not bring it up ever again and act like it wasn't a thing?
Right.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It is important though to also note that like um Darrow had asked Dancer, why didn't you guys show this truth of the world to like the people in the mine? Why just, the what was it that he had said? Why did you like show EO's song over and over and not like the wealth of what is happening in the world? And he was like, well, because if we did, then the revolution would just start and end so quickly because there wouldn't be enough basically like there wouldn't be enough drive to keep people or resources to keep like a revolution like that going. Because I would have thought that, you'd want to show like, oh, you guys are being lied to, but he's like, no, that wouldn't be the smart thing to do. At least not yet. Yeah.
Sam, you're gonna go into Augustus's
Monologue.
monologue. He started monologuing.
I was gonna, but I don't know if it's as important as talking about Fitchner, who's cool and awesome.
Fitchner is cool. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my notes on Nero were just like his monologue is essential, and he mentions EO. That you know kind of covers it, I guess. Unless there's more you want to cover in the deets.
Well, I want to go over this one part where Augustus is monologuing and he does
Mhm.
the
Yes.
outliers. There are the ugly, there are the beautiful. This would not be if they were all equal. A red can no more command a starship than a green can serve as a doctor. I don't know, which is really interesting only in hindsight, looking back to the conversation, spoiler, book 2, where Nero admits that of course he knows that a red could do those things and a green could do, art and a silver could do poetry.
Yes.
So we're just playing into like a narrative here of what it means to be
Which
gold.
Yeah, which is so gross. And I think what I like about this speech is it is so like overtly gross. And Darrow kind of looks around and he's like, everyone's laughing it up. And it's like so wrong, so obviously wrong, and so obviously just cruel. It has major Thrawn vibes for me, Nick. This part. I'm like, I feel like Nero could be a blue guy with red eyes.
And yeah, and now that you're saying that, we could get who was it, Mads Mikkelsen? He could be Nero. There you go.
Oh, come
There we
on to
go.
the
We got a fan
pod.
cast. Come on to the pod and also be Nero Augustus. No, but yeah,
Yes.
that's a really good
What
point.
a fan cast. Yes.
It is very very reminiscent of Thrawn from the Star Wars universe.
Character,
Yeah.
for those unfamiliar. An amazing,
Who
awesome Star Wars character, but
also
villain.
has some great monologues. So
Yes. He and Nero are actually very similar, I feel.
Yeah.
Though their background's very different. But that's a podcast for another time. Let's
Yeah.
not go down that road. Okay. Thank you, Craig, for diving in. I really did want to cover that.
Well, and all
I
the
felt
stuff that he
pressed for
says
that.
about America is like very pertinent, the self-hatred and
Very pertinent, very low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Tell us more,
Like,
Craig.
yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah.
What stuff? For those who might not know.
Let's see. The nations of Earth grew jealous of one another. The United States of America exacted this idea of equality through force. And when the nations united, the Americans were surprised to find they were disliked. I don't know. Pierce was a poli-sci guy, I think. So it shouldn't be surprising to any of us that like he's nailed it. There's another great line. I don't
Prescient.
know where it is about.
It's
Um,
I can't find it, but it's right after that.
yeah, where like the self-hatred quote is quite good. Anyway,
Shall we move on to Fitchner? That's kind of the next
now.
little block. He gets vetted by are they the proctors? I always get my P words mixed
The
up.
QC, are you talking about the quality control? The board of quality
No,
control? Oh, the
already
interviews.
there, and he has little interviews with all the different
The
heads
proctors,
of houses.
yeah.
Proctors, thank you. And then they draft him. And during the interviews, he meets all of them, and he meets Fitchner. Fitchner punches him in the face, and in a funny turn, he says, "If you punch me back, then you'll be expelled." And so
Yeah.
he kicks him in the shin.
which
Which
is great.
again is that extrapolatory thinking, which is exactly what Fitchner
Yeah.
was looking
Right.
for. But
It's
of course, as
also
a first-time reader, you don't realize the significance of this. And as a second-time reader, you're watching every single move that Fitchner makes.
Yeah.
it's also the kicking in the shin is very reminiscent of something Severo would do, and I think that's really great.
Such a wonderful point, because there is like a father-son thing here that will grow and then kind of be mourned later. And Severo and Darrow are such brothers that, yeah, great point.
So that's the first time we meet Fitchner. I guess they also go through some of the other proctors, and want to call back. You mentioned Lorne is here too.
Yes.
At this
Can we
part.
talk about Lorne? And when I
Yeah.
say we, I mean y'all, because I don't remember jack shit about Lorne.
Oh, Lauren was
I mean, I
so
remember
great.
his significance, but
Yeah.
that's it.
I just
Yeah.
I think right, he was just he's done so much for the society. We'll find out later. Like he's done so much for the society and now he just kind of wants to write his whole thing is death begets death begets death. So he's like, I'm tired of that. I want it
Yeah, the Lauren quotes are
amazing. Yeah.
so good.
He's like, I just want to have a great life, and we kind of hear about that later. But he's he's one of the best fighters that the society has ever seen. Like everybody wants to learn how to, the razor and what's the other fight move? that you mentioned. Yeah,
The Way of the
a
Willow?
cravat.
No, cravat.
Cravat?
Cravat, yeah. And like, right, like he's just a great fighter and a great like pillar of the society, really. Like he was part of the reign. He's just helped build and upstand this society, but he's not right, he's not like Augustus. He's not like we should constantly like actually, as I'm saying that, he does uphold gold though. He doesn't think that like
Yeah.
other colors should take over, but he's just a great person in the skills that he has, I think.
Pierce has mentioned that Lauren is going to get his own prequel,
That's
which
right.
will
Isn't
be
it? It's already coming out, isn't it? Isn't
It's
it the
coming
Book of
out.
Lauren? The Book
Well,
of
can
Lauren.
he
I
like
think they're
focus on
on.
Golden Sun first, or not Golden Sun,
Red
Red
God.
God.
Red God?
Yeah, I think Red God's fine. I want to see this Lauren thing. I love the character of Lauren, and I don't think we can talk about him much until book 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's
I
But
find myself.
we're okay spoiling for book 2, aren't we? Gotta keep consistency.
But I
for
think
But
But I
it's
then
think
such
we
like a
need to
topic.
save. Yeah,
It's
we need to
such a
save the
topic.
content for
Yeah.
then. Yeah,
I will wait.
Yeah. Lauren
because that's
doesn't really appear in this book except to be mentioned as the Rage Knight, right?
yeah, to be identified, by
I guess
Darrow.
I guess here's one way we can talk about him. He probably gets about as much screen time as the Sovereign,
Yeah, that's true.
which
Maybe
I think is
less.
interesting. Maybe
Less,
less, but I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
that's
even
interesting.
less. She has a monologue at the beginning.
I was
on
Yeah, but
page
it's only
C.
it's all yeah, it's only on TV.
I was surprised to see Lauren. What was he doing at the?
So he's part
He's
of the
House Mars.
yeah, but
But
like
like
not
what?
He's not the proctors, but he's
But-
what are the people above that like
Okay.
yeah, the what are they called? The
anyway, those
sponsors,
people.
like the sponsors or something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay,
Mhm.
got it. Did they call out the other sponsors?
I think they mentioned them in
They
passing.
mentioned them in passing, yeah, but Lauren is because like we know that he gets a
most
bigger
famous.
role and stuff. So
Yeah.
I noticed that more, but yeah.
Okay.
I also in this part, to just kind of jarring shift, but still the same part. I love the interesting part of he gets skipped over by, what is it, Mercury? Like, is it Mercury that comes by and is interested in him, but the rest of them are like, nah, not him, and he ends up in Mars, which is so fitting. I think that's a fun little part too, and that actually is something that gets called back to later as well.
Fitting as in Rick?
No,
I'm
as
wondering that.
in maybe. That's interesting though. What if he had ended up in Mercury?
Mercury.
It might have been, because if he ends up in Mercury, all of this kind of goes haywire, right?
Yeah, and he's not under Fitchner's like
And
eye.
to do that skipping around and to jump forward to when at some point, like, Mercury says, "Oh, I wanted you," but the other people, or those people, whatever, the sponsors, said no. So maybe it was rigged.
Did you all remember that Lauren is the one who picks Darrow?
I wanted to
Yes.
talk about that. I wrote it down. I
Yeah.
was like,
I
how does
don't think I knew that.
Oh yeah, it's like in the last bit
It's the
of when
last
he's
paragraph.
yeah.
The Rage Knight, the third greatest man on Mars, points to
Right.
me, and Fitchner grins.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't realize. I
Mhm.
thought Fitchner was the guy.
No, because Fitchner's just a proctor, right? Or what is
Yeah.
it called? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
But yeah, I just wonder how rigged that was.
I think it's because Lauren ultimately wanted Darrow to grow under him, right? Like he wanted him to be like the one that
His
would,
protege.
yeah, his protege
Mhm.
in essence, yeah. But-
Yeah, I just wonder how Fitchner influenced that process or not. Because Darrow was scored the highest, most promising student. Maybe the fact that his rage score was so high, maybe the other houses were like, well, it's probably obviously Mars anyway. Like that fit just made a fit. But I wonder.
Yeah,
We've
'cause
got a lot
Fitchner
more
tells
to
him,
talk about.
Mars, we do well really early and then we kind of burn out. Like Dago's burn, right? Like it's like we are
Yeah.
super great and then we just kind of end.
They want someone who can go the long haul. They have a big dinner together, and Cassius names all the howlers. I didn't realize Cassius
know,
came up with all
yeah.
those names.
I didn't
Pebble?
either. Yeah, Pebble, Cactus, or
Just
what's
goes down the
Clown,
row.
Weed,
yeah,
Weed, thistle.
Thistle, yeah.
Screwface, for obvious reasons.
Which I just kind of love because it's the Howler has become them embracing his like them being the butt of his
Also,
jokes. They just embrace it
yeah,
and they're like, yeah, we'll be that.
yeah.
Can we talk about throwaway characters again?
I
Yeah.
think I understand finally what you mean when you say throwaway characters. Do you mean Pierce Brown threw them away?
Sure.
Okay.
Or they had such potential,
They just
right?
weren't
I've been
used to their
trying to
full.
figure this out for a while.
Priam.
Yeah. Okay.
Priam.
Who?
I
Priam.
Priam.
Yeah.
forgot about Priam until this, and I was like, oh.
Because of our interaction is limited with Priam, but Priam seems like a cool
Mhm.
dude
Mm-hmm.
that I would have been fascinated to see his character development. He feels like he could have been another Cassius.
Yeah.
And
And I
so,
think-
but
Did
feel like-
Priam make
I
it
don't
through
know.
the passage? Do we know?
no, but
Nope.
that's part 3.
That-
Oh.
But he doesn't make it passage, right? He dies in the
No.
No,
passage.
Yeah.
and that is the entire reason why we don't get more about Priam, because it actually
Yeah.
gives us more about another character,
About
and I think
another character who we won't
Right,
mention.
okay.
which
Yeah,
which
it's-
is even more important for that character's building
That's
Exactly.
true. That's
Yeah,
true.
like-
but that's what I mean is that's a throwaway. you
I
know?
think
Yeah.
Priam served his purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, but he
Exactly.
served
One more.
his. Yeah.
And he's not likable, Craig.
He's too
Isn't he not?
high gold.
No, he stands up for the little guys, the bronzies.
In a
That's true.
very haughty way.
Yeah.
Sure, but anyway, Priam, throwaway character.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yep.
had a last note. Go ahead.
Real quick before we get into Sam's favorite scene, we should also mention the trinkets that Darrow takes with him too,
Oh,
because
yes.
it's what he's got, like the ring. Does he have the ring at this point? That's the knife.
Yeah. He insists
And
on
then-
the ring.
And he wanted to
the-
take like the Himanthes blossom, but they put it in the Pegasus, right?
Mhm.
Mateo.
Yeah,
Mateo,
Mateo.
so good.
Such Mateo touch. Yeah. We also have to mention Titus. He's introduced
Yes.
towards the end of the part.
Mm-hmm.
That he's described as
Disdainful.
disdainful with really strong hands, but
Mhm.
very impressed that Darrow had a strong handshake. And then there was something strange about his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
major players that we've been introduced in sort of a passing manner in this
Yeah.
part include Titus, Cassius,
Quinn. She is
Quinn, Lorne, Antonia. I don't know. We were
That's
talking about
right.
that before we came on, but Antonia is mentioned in the
Yeah.
test. Is there anyone else that's like mentioned almost like it could have been throwaway, but they end up being a bigger character later?
Kind of Mustang. He doesn't even know her name at this point.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Mustang. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
He sees her 2 times.
Because she wasn't part of Mars, so she wasn't like in that dinner or
Mhm.
that with that.
So the groundwork is laid for a lot of characters
Mhm.
by this dinner,
Yeah,
and I think that's important.
Antonia.
hmm
Yeah,
I just know, like, yesterday we're gonna hang up here and I'm gonna have like 25 more things to
me too.
say.
Me too.
But let's move on to the passage.
the passage.
Let's
Yes.
do it. Here we go. I will be honest with you. I skimmed the final 2 paragraphs of this
That's fair.
part because I just couldn't do it again.
Yeah. So he wakes up getting punched and beaten,
Convince me, Nick.
thinking that he's been discovered.
Yeah.
That he's a red, right?
Yeah.
And then comes to the realization as he's dragged through the halls that no, this must be happening to other people.
Which
And he's like very meta about that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, which that's one thing I've never really asked. What do you think the other like actual golds were thinking when that happened? I'm sure some of them knew it was coming, and they were just like,
Never
"Oh, fine."
sort of knew. Because he had
Yeah.
mentioned the passage first, and Julian
Mhm.
and Darrow were like, "What is that?"
Mhm.
But I don't know what like Cassius thought or anybody else. Yeah.
I think it's fair to say Darrow kind of clocked how maybe a lot of them would feel. First of all, there's thousands of them that are going
Mhm.
through this. No, because not all thousands got drafted, right? How many people in the institute?
Sam, for some reason, the number that's sticking out to me is like 1,200, and then they cut
Yeah.
it down to 600. But that is,
Okay.
I might be
That feels
completely
high.
making that up. It does
It
feel
feels high.
high. You're right. There are
Wait,
what, like
At one point, so during
No,
the
it's right.
draft, he
There's
says
50 in
he
each
gets
house.
picked in each house.
And there are
He
how
gets-
many
says he-
houses?
12. So it's 600. It starts with
600.
1,200, so it just narrows it down to 600.
Okay.
I think.
Good
I could
math.
again
Fast
still be wrong.
math.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's your math major. So it's happening to everyone. There's like little devices like Darrow's able to pick up on. Like they're making his sound fuzzy. They're trying to make him feel isolated and alone. They're trying to like kind of subjugate him in ways that like golds wouldn't be. And so I think the pretty general assumption for that many people is that they're freaking the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
they don't know what's happening. They've never been treated this way. They've never been. And then you see Julian, who I think we can assume is like the lower end of the party spectrum, but he's completely shocked. He's like, "What's going on? How dare you?" So I imagine a lot of
Right.
students are feeling that way.
Yeah, a very gold response from Julian,
Yeah.
right? So immediately it's unfair that Julian has been
Ugh.
put in the same room as Darrow, who is, has a Helldiver grip and comes from the dirt.
And we know, and Darrow knows what's going on because Darrow knows how Julian scored on the tests. And he's putting together early on, hey, it's kind of weird that like this group, there was a couple people in his little bus who scored really low. And he's like, that's kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
And now
how
when he
did they
sees what's
get
going on,
through?
uh,
Because what did Julian score? I know
They didn't
Cassius
say
is
the
in
scores.
6.
Yeah,
Oh, they
we
didn't
don't
say.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It also, again, this was a moment where it didn't really. I don't think it ended up mattering how Julian
Yeah.
scored, because what we find out later was he was set up to be there with Darrow. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Spoiler.
Wait, can you move into that spoiler though? Because
Mhm.
to facilitate Darrow's completion of the passage, correct or
Well,
incorrect?
no,
No,
no.
so
It's to cull the gold herd, right?
Correct. And basically, Darrow is marked as basically a favorite, right? After everything, after the interviews and everything, they mark him as a favorite. And the spoiler here is Augustus has his hand in the Institute the entire way, and Julian is a Bologna. So Augustus took the opportunity to kill
That's
a
a big
Bologna.
spoiler.
yeah.
Okay. No, that's really helpful though, because I you with like he's a favorite, there's
Mhm.
like stuff involved. Julian doesn't seem hard to kill. I don't know why you have to give him to the toughest guy. Like, it feels honestly like a wasted favor.
Well,
Do
he
you
could
think
have
it
been
was a
given to Titus,
Yeah,
which would have been worse.
and it could have been a long game on Augustus' part, right? Because we know that he's a thinker, like he's a chess player, basically. So knowing that
Oh,
Julius
I
was
see
in a
what you're
different house,
saying.
yeah. So I think he could
Shoot,
have,
Liz.
and maybe observing Cassius and Darrow's like relationship earlier, he's like, I may need some leverage here. So it could be all part of a longer
Mm.
game.
You and Nero out here playing 3D chess, and
Yeah.
I am on checkers, baby.
But no, I think, Liz, you're absolutely right there, because how are Cassius and Darrow ultimately turned against each other? And it's,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's by that. Yeah. So I think, yeah,
Even if they
Nero
didn't,
Augustus.
it would be something for Nero to like hold over
hmm
Darrow later
And
to control him.
Yeah.
also,
Because
you
we find out
make
that he's like,
sure.
right, helping Julius or Julian. Oh, Julius.
Mm.
I get confused by the names.
So, Sam, can you get into the way that, like,
I like that you're forcing Sam to do.
I really want Sam to do it. We get into that moment where
Sick.
Darrow understands immediately, like you said. Julian is like, please, Darrow, you don't need it. I need it. I'm a Bologna, you know? And
Pathetic.
Darrow had already made the decision in his head that he's going to kill this boy.
Oh, and as he points out, we are two naked children killing each other. He is also a boy, but I just got to feel for Julian. Julian begging for his life, basically, and he's trying to like intellectualize it.
Yeah.
But also,
because he knows that he can't match Darrow.
Yeah.
This is the point, and this is where it's like it's such a great point, and in all the reasons I hate Roke and all the reasons I respect Roke, I feel like this scene is similar, right? And I think you might have said that even earlier, but what Craig just said there, Julian is trying to beg for his life, but how's he doing it? He's saying, I deserve this. I deserve this because of my family. Look at me. I'm the one who should be going through, not you. Because that's the other part he doesn't, I don't know if he says out loud, but he's saying is, by saying he deserves it, he's saying Darrow doesn't.
Yeah, and this is the first time Darrow kills someone. And he mentions that. And then I think what I can acknowledge is good about this is, or at least the writing, not the situation. To me, there's a moment where Darrow like clicks and he has to go to a different place. And it's the rage. And he's like, he just has to like sink in and kill this kid. Like, it doesn't feel, at least for this first time, like he's going to be someone who's super used to killing people and he slices right through them. But for this first time, I really feel like he had to splice himself. And you kind of see that. I feel like you sort of see that moment. Would love counter takes though.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I
I think
agree.
he says it, right? Like the rage just takes over when after Julian punches him in the nose. But I just like I felt so bad for Julian because it seemed like his brain didn't want to accept the
Ugh.
fact that it was death or nothing. Because he kept saying, no, you
Yeah.
could go back to your family. They'll still love you. And it's like, nobody's leaving here. Like you're the only way out is like one of us dying. And it just didn't seem that like that clicked for him. And that was very sad.
Yes, I'm sad.
But Julian is
Gross.
also a part of the problem, right?
Yes.
Like, that's the thing, it's we're made to be sympathetic for him, we're made to say he's the best of gold, but at the same time, no, he's not.
Yeah.
No, he's the
Because
worst of gold. That's why he's being set up
yeah,
to be killed.
Yeah.
well, not even just by gold standards, but by, like, humanity standards. He
Yeah.
is not someone like, if you wanna say someone who's the best of gold, it's like, it's Mustang, it's Severo. Those are people that are the best of gold. Julian is one of those people that would quietly be okay with
He's a
everything that's
pixie.
happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
and, you see it in this scene where he's just like, "You don't deserve it, I deserve it because of my family. This is how it should be." And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's really all through we're told Julian is this great he had so much more morality, and it's like, I don't think he did. I think he died before we got to see him turn to the villain.
Well, he's still Cassius's brother,
Yeah,
who we
and
know, has a little bit of gray. He's not all black and white.
But not all of
But
Cassius's
you're right
siblings are.
about that.
Yeah, like
and I
his
guess
older brothers are
that's
not. Yeah.
Snaps.
and
You're so right.
there's part of it because earlier I said Cassius is absolutely an honorable man. What do we think Cassius did in the passage? Do we think he
Oh,
said he deserved it because he was a Blona, or did he just
No,
No,
accept?
he just.
I
You
think,
know?
but Cassius is much more competent than Julian, right?
Hmm.
So,
So he wouldn't have to
but
bargain, is what you're
again,
saying.
this is a part 3 spoiler.
Uh-huh.
Cassius is upset with Darrow for killing Julian,
Mhm.
obviously.
Right.
But he says it's the way you killed him,
Right.
like an animal, right? So I think from that we can extrapolate that Julian did like a quick cravat thing,
Yeah.
and that the way that
Oh.
this is just like he's
He
punching
just
him.
fucking.
Yeah, he's like
like it's
headbutting him
bloody and like yeah.
because he doesn't know what he's doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But like that's not what Cassius.
It wasn't noble.
Is
Yeah,
Cassius reliable in that moment? Do we know that
I
Cassius
believe
didn't do the
him.
I
same
think
thing?
so.
I would, yeah, because he's trained in so many different fighting styles. I feel like he probably would do it a quick 1-2.
And adults, like Peerless Scarred, who
I
go
don't
through the
know.
academy, know that this happens.
Mm.
So, and everyone still lets it happen because in their mind, I think they see, yeah, we've been trained per our breeding up until that point, and the best person who knows how to fight and stuff comes out. And like, I think they justify it that way. But if you see someone go in there and just freaking like rail on someone, you're like, hey, you didn't win that in the right way. You didn't play the rules.
But I mean, Julian didn't know what was going to happen, clearly. How would Cassius have known? And as you mentioned, these are two naked boys fighting in a pit. Are we
They didn't know what was
so
going to happen.
I
but
think it's
are we
more
so
like
sure
fight
that
now.
are we
yeah.
so sure that Cassius didn't act the same way?
I don't s-
He feels really competent.
yeah,
I want to
feel
hear
I
what
don't
Liz has
know.
to
But
say.
I was gonna say
Liz.
that it feels like the way that Darrow fought is sort of how they would expect Severo to, right? Like, because I'm pretty sure that's how Severo did it as well. So, but Darrow's presented as a better gold than Severo, so like he should not be that like classless in a way in his fighting, and I think that is part of like what Cassius was trying to say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that. And I bet this is like beyond the point, but I feel like if this isn't explicitly said, Golds believe that like their fighting is so efficient that it's like more humane than other people's fighting. And that just strikes me as something they would believe. And maybe it's even true because
yeah.
of the sheer power that they have.
That's what
But so
cravat
that's
is.
another reason. Yeah, like it was an inhumane way to kill my brother. You should
Yeah.
have killed him in a
Okay.
more humane way.
Okay, I think you've kind of sold me on this, and Craig, if you want to mark this spoiler too, but I really want to
Marked it.
mention
It's
this.
All of the pressure, Craig.
The dichotomy between how Darrow kills Julian, if we're submitting to it, it's this primal, gross way that he kills Julian, and then how Darrow ends up defeating Cassius in book 2 is by training. It's complete juxtaposition. He goes
Oh my
from
gosh.
a lower form of fighting to a higher form of fighting, and it's so
Yeah.
great.
Nick, you're so
But-
good at pattern recognition.
That is so good.
Isn't
But
it?
also,
I'm good at it.
So Darrow admits to himself when he's about to kill Julian, he is scythe of Darwin. He's Darwin's scythe, right? Like he knows this of
Oh,
himself.
God.
So I don't know if it's surprising that he becomes a god of war, right? Like that's kind of what he
Certainly
was
not.
built to do.
Yeah.
But I agree that the dichotomy is good. All right.
Do I
It's-
like it? I don't know.
Do we love that moment? No, we do
But
not
you know what,
necessarily.
Nick? You did appeal to my, I guess, inner jerk a little bit. Like I think that like Cassius obviously kind of sanctifies his brother, particularly in death. And as we move forward in the books, it's
Yeah.
always like he was so pure, but he
It's
could have
easy to
been as
put him
gross
on-
as Tactus or whatever the other
Yeah.
brothers' names are. Carnus. You name your kid Carnus, you know you're getting
Carnus.
yourself.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Carnus.
Yeah,
But
I like
it's-
Carnus. I like his character. But that's part 3. How would you rate part
Oh.
2?
Gosh, so on point, keeping us on schedule.
Liz.
I would give it a 3.5. I didn't like it as much as the first part actually, because there wasn't a lot of story moving forward. There's a lot of like groundwork, but it didn't. I think like as an initial reader, it's just like a lot. You're just like, okay, cool. I'm just absorbing all of this, and then the passage was hard. So that's my.
Nick.
First read a 5. Because it's coming from part 1 into this. You have something completely different. It's like the curtain being pulled back. You're seeing the whole scene. And I have a special place in my heart for good world building, and it's why I love the Lord of the Rings series so much, because the world is built so well, and seeing that happen here. First read it was a 5. A reread probably more like a 4 because of how we talked about yesterday, what the scale should be like. Yeah, I think it's just setting things up. It carries the baton from part 1 so well to set everything up.
I think I'm gonna give it a 3. I think for both initial read and reread, there's a lot that happens. Yeah, 3 for me. Sam.
Yeah, I love all the setups. I was stopping like every 5 minutes to like mark a page or a paragraph. That said, we did decide on a scale yesterday, and I can't help but think of Darrow and Cassius fighting each other and
Yeah.
that being like a 5. I have to put this at a 3
Okay.
because it's just a lot of setup, but we're
It's a
about
lot
to
of
get
setup.
into it. I'm scared though.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, I don't like kids killing each other.
Sure.
I cried my way through the Hunger Games. I like
Yeah.
this better than the Hunger Games because I felt like they make kids more jerks and, less like victims. And
Yeah.
also, Darrow seems so much older. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Wait, on that
scared.
note, how do you compare this in Hierarchy? Which one? I like, because Hierarchy is also kids killing kids.
oh, you're right. You mean like which is easier from the kids killing kids standpoint?
Yeah, I feel like Hierarchy because it's more of adults
Yeah.
killing kids, which feels
It's more adults
easier.
killing kids, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and there's fewer
Yeah,
killing kids in the
Yeah.
Hierarchy series as well.
that's fair. That's a really good point.
Yeah, kids killing kids can't be the title of this episode, but
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna cut all this
alliteration-
out.
Did you mark it?
I did mark it. We're not gonna end on kids killing kids.
That's how part 2 ends.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
Literally.
I feel like we need a hefty dose of reality here. That's what this book is.
Yeah.
Not for, I want to say, I am not for kids killing kids. I find it difficult to read,
On
and that
record.
is why I'm going to struggle through the second half of this book. I find it uncomfortable.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely agreed.
I mean, any title would be fine because it could technically be the passage because Darrow passes from red to gold, and then we
Yeah.
see like the end of the kids from the test to the institute officially.
I'm partial to Mickey with a sticky.
That's good. That's
It's Mickey
really
with
good.
a sticky.
Or whatever. I don't remember what I said. But I
Yeah,
did
Mickey
write
with the
Mickey
sticky
and-
is good. All right. Well,
All
thanks,
right, I'm
y'all.
gonna send you GIFs, Nick. I'm gonna send them to
Oh
you.
yeah,
You're gonna send me chips?
Gifts.
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 Oh, gifts. Gotcha.
All right,
All
bye.
right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
On our next episode, we emerge traumatized and scared as we enter the Institute with all the newly anointed, murderous, wannabe monsters that made it through the passage. We'll examine the personalities and relationships that shine through the magic school trope and why this one's different. And there's Titus. We'll open up that can of worms. If you'd like to join in our discussions or have questions, let us know at thehowlerbookclub@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Red Rising Book Club. That's READ Rising Book Club. Thanks for reading with us, and talk to you next week.